What's up, fight fans? I'm Jim Gries. Call me Gries, and this is Cage Side Seat right here on MMA Weekly. Cage Side Seat bringing you the best MMA talk with the biggest names in the sport from the best seat in the house. And right now, I'm pumped to be joined by one of my favorite fighters, one of my favorite people in the game. Part 2 of our exclusive interview as she gets set to headline UFC Vegas 10 or UFC Fight Night 177, whatever you want to call it, against Angela Overkill Hill. It's the karate hottie Michelle Waterson from New Mexico getting ready to travel to Vegas for the fight. And Michelle, good to talk to you again, hun. Unbelievable for you to be getting back in there. I know that last loss to Carla Esparza didn't leave a good taste in your mouth. You felt like you won that fight. Anxious to see you get back in there, girl.
I'm anxious to get back in there too. It's one of those things. Everything in life happens for a reason. And although, we thought that we did enough to secure the win, obviously some of the judges didn't see it that way. So you go back to the drawing boards and you figure out what it is you can do to secure those wins. And we've tightened some screws, and I'm really excited to get in there and show the world, what I have to offer.
Yeah, I know you're ready to get back in that win column too. You've lost 2 in a row. You've never lost 3 in a row. But man, the list of opponents you've faced in your career, it's literally a murderer's row. A who's who in women's MMA at strawweight, Michelle. Just literally the competition you've faced has been unbelievable.
Yeah, that's what I love about being able to take those challenges. Since I was signed to the UFC, I had, outside of my UFC debut, every single girl that I fought has been in the top 10. And so I pride myself in being able to accept those challenges, especially coming from, the Invicta where I was fighting at 105. I love martial arts. I love the idea that, you can face your fears, you can go out there, and there is no turning back. They close the cage behind you, and you have to face your fears, and it makes you a stronger person. It makes you a wiser person. And all these lessons that I learned through my fighting career are things that I can teach my daughter, things that I can take with me when I'm done fighting. And it's just it's an amazing ride I get to be on.
Yeah, by the looks of things too, it's working really well. Got the chance to hang out with Araya, with you and Josh in New Mexico when we were out there in February. What an awesome girl, and what a role model she has for a mom. And obviously, win or lose, you're the mom champ. You know how I feel about you and how the fans feel about you, Michelle. But I know you want to go out there and give it your all and let the results speak for themselves. You still want to get a chance to win that belt. But one thing I thought was interesting heading into this fight is that you said you don't want to go out there and have such a strategy that it takes away from your instinct. And I'm paraphrasing, but you said you just want to let it fly a little bit more, let it rip out there, instead of having such a strategy that you're kind of thinking a little too much in the cage, or at least that was my interpretation of it. Just expand on that if you would. Give us your thoughts.
Yeah, it is that that beautiful balance, right? You train for however long it is for a specific opponent, and obviously you have a game plan for them. But when you get in there, you should be, so queued up that you aren't thinking, you're just reacting, and that you're in the zone, and you're able to just go in there and do what you love without having to strategize. They say that sometimes when you take a second to think, that's just a second too long. Like you said, every single girl that I fought in the UFC has been top 10. And when you reach a level and you're always fighting the top girls, a win or a loss can be the difference between a split second. And these are things that I've had to realize. And sometimes you let the pressure mount you, and it can be overwhelming, especially when the pressure of winning and the trajectory of your career helps put food on your family's table, helps the trajectory of your career. And you can't, what I've learned is you can't allow those pressures to affect you in a negative way. And you can sometimes over strategize, like you said, and get away from, the truth of what we're doing, which is going in there and trying to put a beating on your opponent, trying to inflict the most damage.
Yeah, I love that, Michelle. I love seeing that devil in your eye when you're inside the octagon, because you're so sweet and so funny and smiley all the time. And you got Josh and Araya and, your business interests and your team and your restaurant. So much fun to be around, and such a personable person, such a nice girl. You would never hang around with you and not know what you do and guess that you're a killer in that cage and an MMA fighter in the UFC at the highest of levels. But I love it when that animal comes out once that door is locked. And I'm sensing the possibility, and that probably is in your mind right now, maybe a highlight reel finish in this fight is what you're thinking over Angela Hill for the karate hottie, something you haven't had in a few years.
Absolutely. go in there, have fun. You know, you have to hold back on your teammates. When you're sparring, you have to hold back on the mitts. You know, you don't get to see that damage that you put in, all the strength and conditioning that you put in, all the reps that you put in. So why not go in there and see the damage?
Free and easy, nothing to lose. I love that mentality. And really, when you think about it, Michelle, minus putting that UFC belt around your waist, you've been the atomweight champ in Invicta. You've built a huge following of fans. You've made a nice bit of money for yourself, built yourself a beautiful life with your family. And, you know, you're really just kind of winning at life, I would say. Do you almost feel like you're playing with house money at this point? Vegas term, because you're fighting in Vegas. But really what I mean is just kind of adding things like throwing more whipped cream and candy and cherries on top of your sundae.
I think that's a great way to look at it. You know, I'm so blessed to be able to have the job that I do, and uh, like I said earlier, it really has strengthened my character, and I know that whatever it is that we decide to do, you know, when I'm done fighting, I'm going to be able to take on the world because of all the adversity and challenges I had to endure as a fighter. I like I sometimes I wake up and I'm like, gosh, you know how some people in this world pay to get to do what I do. You know, they pay to go to jiu-jitsu tournaments. They pay to run marathons. And I get to wake up and do this every day, and I get paid for it. And it's just, I'm truly blessed.
Surrounded by people you love, friends, family, every single day, doing what you love to do, talking about how blessed you are, but also taking it the next step further with great sponsors like Onnit, like Body Armor, like ButcherBox, like Manscaped, and things like that you have going for yourself. But now you have a restaurant that you and Josh have invested in Albuquerque called Tako Ten with a K, Tako Ten. And I know you got to be really excited about that right now, to be taking that next step in your voyage as a business person, as an entrepreneur.
Oh, it's been such an amazing adventure. You know, we invested in this restaurant a while back before the pandemic hit, and then, you know, our plan was to open up in May, and the pandemic hit, and you know, for a lot of small businesses, it hit them hard, you know, and so we're just really fortunate to be able to kind of maneuver around the things that we have to do as far as the guidelines with all the COVID restrictions and stuff, and still be really successful. Our food is amazing. You can't go wrong with tacos and beer. You know, we have a great burger, and it's great because we get to connect with with all the locals, and we show up and we sit and we talk and we get to know everybody that, you know, that lives in town.
All right, so for the Albuquerque audience, where is Tako Ten? Where can they go and chill and hang out with the Karate Hottie, Josh Gomez, your husband, your teammates, your fans, your friends? In 3, 2. All right, so for the Albuquerque audience and people like me who breeze through town every once in a while, where is Tako Ten and how can they come hang out with the Karate Hottie?
Tako Ten is on Tramway and Candelaria, and it's at the Bridges, and it is just an amazing complex. There's a brewery right next to us, so you can you have some beers there and grab some tacos, and then there's a paleta bar, so if the kids, you know, want some dessert, you can grab some dessert. And actually, my teammate Jody Escobar has her yoga studio right behind in the same complex, so you come do some yoga, get some tacos, grab a beer, get some ice cream for your kiddos. It's all there, one-stop shop.
See, there it is. Natural-born salesperson, the Karate Hottie. Just whatever you do in life, you're going to be successful at with that personality, and you get it, Michelle, and that's something that you give an experience to your customers, and they keep on coming back. So obviously, I'm going to be out there soon. The next time we come do an event together, I'm going to be expecting some food, a nice meal out of this when we hang out next time.
Absolutely. We have this, so it's Tako 10 because we have 10 different tacos, and we have an entree called the Circle of Friends. You get all 10 tacos, and we'll chow down on that for sure.
Man, I don't need any friends for that. I'll just talk to my 9 imaginary friends, and we'll just crush that together, man. I think that's good, Michelle. What do you think? All right, you got it. That family environment, that atmosphere, I'm looking forward to that. Looking forward to crushing some tacos with you guys and having some fun in Albuquerque. And I also have to thank you, by the way. When I was out there in February and we were live on ESPN 1017, The Team, you said to me, hey, I got a great story for you that involves Dana White and Tony Robbins. So we start talking about Dana White and Araya, your daughter, was selling Girl Scout cookies. Other kids had their parents helping them do it. Their parents were going to their bosses. And you said, the hell with this, I'm going to Dana White. Well, I had the chance finally to interview Dana White one-on-one just a couple of weeks ago at the UFC Apex. I brought this story up to him. Let's take a look at the clip and get your reaction. All right, so I have to a story that Michelle Waterson told me when I was in New Mexico earlier this year, and it's a good story about you, and it's Tony Robbins is involved in the story, so you probably know where I'm going with this, but Michelle's daughter, Araya, was selling Girl Scout cookies, and all the other kids were getting help from their parents and their parents' bosses, so Michelle says, the hell with this, I'm going to call my boss, right? You want to take it from there?
I think we still have Girl Scout cookies at the office. How many boxes did I buy? Let me tell you what, enough to feed a small country, and yeah, we were handing out Girl Scout cookies for a while, but
and Tony bought a bunch too. You got Tony to
so
buy a
then
bunch?
Tony Robbins saw that I had posted that and did that, and so then he came in and bought some too, and then I ended up connecting those guys together, and I'm pretty sure that they've become pretty good friends now too.
So you can see Dana White bought a ton of boxes. Tony Robbins jumped in, so the UFC employees were happy. They were getting Girl Scout cookies for a long time. Araya was happy. You were happy because it took care of business. And, you know, what a great move by Dana White. And then Tony Robbins jumping in, too. It pays to have a boss like him, but it also pays to have a boss who has friends like he does. What a move by Dana.
You know what? I can't tell people enough how amazing Dana is as a boss. You know, he really does bend over backwards to make the UFC as powerful as it is, and you know, we're really fortunate to have him as such a strong leader. And he's just an amazing person as well. Him, Tony Robbins, you know, it all comes full circle. You surround yourself with the people that you want to be like, and those two guys definitely are on the top of my list.
Yeah, not to mention the fact that they're awesome leaders. And Dana White, I've talked to him about this a lot this year, just leading from the front with the UFC, showing the rest of the sports world and the rest of us in general, really, how it's done just to fight through this COVID thing and all the stuff that's going on, turning what could have been a terrible year into a great year for the UFC, albeit no fans, different type of experience, but something we can look back on later in life and say, wow, during that time, we were all still able to do what we love and have a great time doing it because Dana White and the UFC just kept pushing forward.
Absolutely. It's a historic time. And like I said, just trying to be innovative and still, you know, moving forward in a time when everything is put on pause is you know, a great situation for me. And still being able to support my family. So yeah, it is different, but you gotta flow with the punches and adjust.
No doubt, and you'll enjoy it no matter what. You always have that smile on your face until you get in the octagon and that door locks. Then that killer comes out that we were talking about earlier. Michelle Waterson headlining UFC Vegas 10 or UFC Fight Night 177, whatever you want to call it, in Sin City against Angela Overkill Hill, the first African-American female fighter to headline a card, another historic event for the Karate Hottie. We know you're going to have so much fun, Michelle, like you always do. Get in there, that killer comes out. Hopefully you get that win and keep on pushing forward toward that goal of being the actual mom champ with the UFC belt around your waist. Thank you so much for everything you've done for me. Thank you for welcoming us to New Mexico, to your home, and doing events with us. And thank you for being here today, Michelle. Really appreciate it. Best of luck to you. We'll talk to you soon.
All right. Talk to you later.
All right, well, there it is, fight fans. A new and improved Karate Hottie, Michelle Waterson, saying she wants to come out, be aggressive, not strategize so much, not think so much in there, and just let them fly against Angela Hill, which could be amazing. Angela Hill, a world kickboxing champion, the Karate Hottie, amazing on the feet, could be a highlight reel finish, but Michelle is great on the ground. Can't wait for this one at UFC Vegas 10, UFC Fight Night 177. It's Jim Gries, Cage Side Seat on MMA Weekly, the best MMA talk with the biggest names in the sport from the best seat in the house.